morning, and welcome to Coffee with Craig. Earlier this year, we launched this interactive web series as a new way to communicate with you, our customer. It was received so well that we decided to continue the series as part of our product showcase. In this new series, we will introduce you to some new products and innovations, as well as adaptive equipment that is used in conjunction with our wheelchair accessible vehicles. Coffee with Craig is all about interacting with you while you watch the video. We encourage you to use the chat function at the bottom of the page. If you're viewing this on one of our social media platforms, please feel free to leave a comment or select the chat feature. We're going to kick off this new series of showcasing mobility solutions with a discussion about hand controls. I'd like to introduce you to Ashley Crook, the sales manager for SureGrip, who's going to talk to us about their hand control products. Good morning, Ashley, and welcome to Coffee with Craig.
Good morning, Craig. Thanks for having us today.
Absolutely. So for those people watching at home who do not know, there are many different types of hand controls that are available. Can you give us a breakdown of what is available?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great place to start. So we're a column mount hand control company. We manufacture column mount hand controls. We have 4 different styles of controls that are available for both the left and the right side, or left and right hand drive. So briefly how they all work, we have a push rock, a push right angle, a push pull, and a push twist. The push is always the brake. The push always talks about the braking motion. The second word always talks about how you manipulate the gas. So the push rock, you would push for brake and then rock towards the ground for acceleration. I always say it's like pulling on a beer tap is probably the easiest way to remember. Or the push right angle, again, it's a push motion for the brake, and then you actually pull down towards your lap for the acceleration. So push for brake, down towards your lap for acceleration. Push pull, again, push towards the dash for brake, and then you pull directly back towards you for the gas. So this one's really good. You're never going to mix up gas and brake with this one. It's push and then pull. And then the push twist is a push for brake, and then this is like a motorcycle style acceleration. So you actually twist it like a motorcycle for acceleration.
Great. Thank you for the brief breakdown. So I think most people, when they think of hand controls, they think of mechanical hand controls. But SureGrip revolutionized the industry a few years ago with the advent of the Featherlite product. Can you tell us more about this innovation and how it's changed the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So we did start out as a mechanical hand control company. So 34 years ago, we started with mechanical hand controls, and up until around 2016, we were only a mechanical hand control company. And over those first 30 some years, we made some huge advances with our mechanical controls that really led up to the Featherlite. So I'm just going to touch on those briefly. But we introduced push rock. We also introduced a lockout feature with the mechanical controls, which was a huge safety feature at the time. And then we also introduced what we call a short throw design with our push right angle and push pull. And the reason I always talk about these and like to talk about these is they did improve the mechanical offerings, but they were also the foundation and the building blocks that the Featherlite really were built on. And without those, we would never have got to the Featherlite. So to bring that back to Featherlite, we introduced the Featherlite a few years ago. It is a column mount hand control. Again, it's the same thing as our mechanical. However, it is an electronic acceleration. So what a lot of people don't know is that most new vehicles, if not all new vehicles, have electronic acceleration. And we just built a system that allowed us to redirect the OEM signal, the original equipment manufacturer, so the vehicle signal, and instead of sending it to the gas pedal, you choose to send it to the hand control. This was, like you said, revolutionized. It really changed things for column mount. It improved safety. We had what's called one source acceleration. So you're either driving with the hand control or the pedal, never both at the same time. Leg and lap room was absolutely huge. There's no longer a gas rod that attaches the hand control to the pedal. There's a lack of resistance from the OEM pedal, so the ease of use and the comfort is hugely important when it comes to, and noticeable when it comes to driving with these new controls. And honestly, we were able to achieve all of this and keep the price competitive and make it affordable and accessible to everybody. So yeah, it's been huge for us and a massive step in the hand control industry as well.
I think the comment we get most from clients and customers who do have these hand controls is the amount of effort that they have to use now. I mean, before there was so much pushing and pulling, and for somebody with a disability, that takes a toll on their shoulders and their wrists and their hands. So this product certainly has revolutionized the way people look at hand controls. Has this? Are you seeing more people purchase the Featherlites instead of going with the traditional hand controls?
Yeah, and it's kind of funny you asked that, because we just ran the numbers last week. We did a review of the year, and we just ran the numbers last week, and I believe we're up to around 75% now is Featherlite of our business, of our hand controls going out the door. People are really, there was some initial trepidation when you start talking electronic, but people have really jumped on board and really and that's a great point that you raised. The push twist is a really good example of that. Historically, that twist motion has been very fatiguing and difficult to drive with over a period of time to maintain acceleration. But the Featherlite, because of that lack of resistance, has really changed that. I should add here, though, if you do find it too easy to drive with or not enough resistance, we can actually, or our dealer group can actually dial the resistance up to give more resistance or less resistance. So the customer or the driver at the end of the day really gets that hand control in that sweet spot that they're comfortable and happy to be driving with.
Great, great. Now, with so many solutions available, I think this really enforces the need to have a certified driver rehabilitation specialist prepare a script before the product can be used. Do you sell these products to the general public or only through authorized dealers?
So the short answer, and this is a good question, we get this question often. The short answer to the question is no, we do not sell to general public. We only sell through a certified dealer group or dealer network. We have trained certified dealers, technicians, sales staff throughout North America. There are industry standards and requirements that dealers have to meet. So we're part of something called NMEDA, the National Mobility Equipment Dealers Association, and they have guidelines and standards that companies like Mobility Works meet and have to meet in order to sell these products. On top of that, as a manufacturer, we have requirements for our dealer group as well. So we have to have certified technicians, certified sales staff. We want the people that are working with the customers, the end users, to be knowledgeable, to be confident, to be able to sell, service, and maintain these and install these products. So we don't sell to general public. We also don't sell to just any dealer as well. We have certified, trained dealer groups. We also work really closely with the OT association, which is called ADED. And OTs and CDRSs, they're crucial to what we do every day. And ADED gives educational content and has standards and guidelines for our therapy partners. So we don't want people who haven't been trained to be driving or have access to the equipment that we manufacture that you guys install. So we do require that people are tested and trained on this equipment, and we have great relationships with our OT and driver trainer therapists and partners, and as do our dealer group. So it's really important that they're being trained and prescribe the right equipment to the driver, and then also really important that the company that's selling it and install it is also trained, certified. Everybody's got to be safe and everyone's got to be happy with the outcome. So.
Gotcha. Now, I know safety is always a concern when dealing with the public, especially with those with disabilities. Tell us what SureGrip is doing to ensure safety of all their products and solutions.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with gas and brakes as well, right? So
yeah.
So anytime that we manufacture a product, we make sure that we test it, we make sure that it meets or exceeds any standards that apply to it. So we're going to talk about Featherlite specifically in a moment, but even down to we have steering wheel extensions, and we have to make sure that the airbags can still deploy, and we do all that testing. But to give Featherlite hand controls as an example, these controls were designed with a full double redundancy, which basically means you're not going to get any unintended acceleration from the product. We also tested it to meet FMVSS 124. So FMVSS, the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, and then the Canadian version, which is just the same, which basically means we take the hand controls to extreme cold and extreme heat. And at these extreme temperatures, you have to take the hand control to full throttle, and it has to return back to idle in under 1 second. and we're also J1903. And we put them through a cycle test. So we put it on a jig and we ran the jig day and night. We had over 1.25 million cycles with some maintenance along the way, you know, as any hand control should have. But it didn't fail. We stopped it at 1.25 million because we had to stop at some point. But there was no failure or anything like that. And before we ever sold the product or gave dealers or end users access to the product, we also had over 60,000 peer review, in-house road test miles as well under the belt. So that was really important for us, like you say, the importance of testing, the importance of making sure these are safe in our industry, especially with the gas and brake. And the final one too, NMETA has a compliance review program, the NMETA CRP. That's where a manufacturer will hand over the testing documents and a third-party company will look at it, and it's a basic pass and fail. And we are CRP verified today, and we're really proud. We talk about this all the time. We're really proud of what we've achieved and the safety and those that have recognized that. So.
Great. Ashley, I want to thank you for your time today and educating the audience on hand controls. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat button at the bottom of the page, or if you have not had service done to your hand controls, please reach out to us and we can schedule that for you right away. Please join us next week when we introduce you to retractable tie downs from AMF Bruns. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.